quite easily.
So if you never had the chance to read a book, and he was grow up without any book, he was like living in the jungle. How did you find out as a creator?
It's easy.
He was growing in a forest, let's say like a Tarzan, like say.
Yeah, exactly.
With knowledge, zero knowledge.
I was going to actually even mention that point, but you did it because you are a critical-minded person. Precisely. If people grow up in an Amazonian jungle or a forest,
because I grew up in Italy,
I am going to,
and I didn't get this different culture.
But your question,
I eating pasta, I eating pizza,
is a
I don't
very
eat rice or anything else because the area is not this kind of knowledge.
The question that you ask is a very important and intelligent one. In fact, we use this question and a scenario for people to reflect on. What we say is this. Even if you were brought up, say 5,000 years ago in a Brazilian jungle or an Amazonian jungle, where there's no Christianity, there is no Islam through Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and so on, right? There is no Hindus there, there is no Jewish people there. Even then, it is possible for us to come to the realization that, one, that there is a creator of this universe. Two, that this creator is one and only and absolute. Three, that we are created for a purpose. Four, we're going to die, we're not going to live anymore all the time. We will die, come to an end. And there has to be something after death. Because some people follow good ways and some people follow bad ways. The end destination cannot be the same. Justice demands that there has to be a day of reckoning. There has to be a day of judgment.
Someone can be selfish, to think about only for himself.
And that's why.
Grow up and that's why it's genetic. Like
that is why.
Children.
That is why.
Like do a children and say, okay, do whatever you like in
some
this
people.
planet.
Some people do that, and
so
that is why. Do
you
know what Islam says? Islam says don't be selfish. In fact, it says the wealth that you have.
Selfish is in a way not to thinking about others. I can still talk to others. If I'm selfish, that it's me now. I grow up with my kids, the wife, and move on with my life.
Yeah, but you have to look after other people.
The simple things, not to get too complicated, because life is very complicated.
To give you an example, our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our Prophet said, you are not even a believer that you go yourself fully fed and your neighbor starves to death in hunger. You're not even a believer. A believer has to make sure his neighbors don't die of starvation. Doesn't matter who your neighbor is. An atheist neighbor or a Christian neighbor or a Jewish neighbor, a Hindu neighbor, doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a Muslim neighbor. Your neighbor is your neighbor. Our wealth that I was going to explain to you about, that we earn maybe thousands of pounds or millions of pounds, whoever you are, how rich you are.
No, it doesn't mean money.
Our wealth is not all of our wealth. In Islam, the poor people and the needy have a right on our wealth. Right. I have to give 2.5% of my surplus wealth to the poor because it's theirs, belongs to them. That shows how Islam doesn't demand people become selfish. Islam wants to make everyone, come to whole humanity.
I didn't say selfish to have greedy with money.
Money, wealth, in society.
Not to the social buildings like churches. Mosque or
no, I'm saying throughout.
Why?
You have to look after. You have to look after everyone. By the way, if anyone's recording and we have children being recorded, can you blur it out, please? Yeah. This is for all the cameramans. If the children are in the camera, please blur it out afterwards before you publish. So if you're doing live, stop doing live because we have children here being in the camera. Is that right? Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Fine. So what we are saying is, as we have spoken about the Creator. Even in an Amazonian jungle, we can come to the conclusion that there's a creator. And this creator is one and only and absolute. We can come. Your question earlier on, as you said.
To discover, of course.
No. When you say come to the conclusion.
When you go to the city, you want to discover the city.
It's okay.
You can't think about the same road.
We can conclude by reasoning. Excuse me. Brothers, leave her alone. What we're saying is, your question that you said about, what about the creator who was created by a creator and so on. That is a silly question. Exactly. There's no need to answer them. Fine. So ultimately,
we need to sit at the table and have an
ultimately, we will come to the realization that there is one creator who is absolute, independent, one, and unique. not someone who is born, not someone who produces children, and not someone who is like us. Do you know what I described? Chapter 112 of the Quran, the book that God gave to his final messenger. This is what it says. I'll tell you in Arabic and tell you the translation. In fact, I've told you already. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Say, God, He is one, only and unique. Allahu samad. He is absolute, eternal, independent. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. He is not born and He doesn't produce offspring and children. Walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. And there is none like unto Him whatsoever in any way comparison. Any way you want to compare, there's nothing like unto God. That is what we talk about the Creator. This, please. Can you leave her alone, please, yeah? So that's what we're talking about. We are saying the concept of God, our Creator, the Quran provides, your heart and your mind will be happy with it, content and satisfied with it. And this is what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who came 1,400 years ago, 1,400 years. No. Being the last of the messengers on the prophets.
Okay.
There were many other prophets and messengers who were sent to all nations in the past. But people corrupted the message. So he was sent as the final messenger with the finality of the message of Islam, meaning pure submission to God, our Creator. So that is the Quran. So I invite you to read about his life, his mission, his message, and read the Quran. And when you read the Quran, you will see how it engages with you, telling you about your purpose in life.
I'm happy like I am. That's the problem. And I don't need nothing at all. Because if I'm like that today, because I'm not reading stuff.
What happens when we die?
That's the problem.
Where do we go after we die?
The day is going to come for everyone.
No,
Don't choose even your death.
No, after that what happens?
Some people say, I'm going to do this before I die, and maybe I'm going to go in a different dimension.
Marvelous. Imagine, I just want you to imagine, if we are created for a particular purpose, remember what we said, we must have a specific purpose, and we did not fulfill that. It's like this. You and I going to an examination hall, and then we don't know what paper is being examined. Is it quantum mechanics, or is it astrophysics, or is it simple biology? We don't know. And then we will fail the exams. And what is the consequence of fail the exams? If we fail the exam of our life, we cannot blame our Creator. We have to blame ourselves that we did not seek and search for what the purpose of life was, and we did not even fulfill it. So in the hereafter, which is a reality, this life is not the only life.
If I was an open-minded,
then we'll be at a loss.
I wasn't here to talk to you. That's the things. Because I'm
You are open-minded. You are my friend.
That's what I'm speaking with
my
you.
friend, you are open-minded. You are a nice person. You are a critical person.
I was believing something very strictly. I wasn't even
Exactly.
I wasn't even coming here.
Exactly,
I
Marvis.
was so discovering new
Everyone
stuff.
who will listen to you would know you are open-minded, and not only that, you're critical. The questions that you brought is critical thinking. So you're critically appraising things. So what we are saying is we are just making that extension for you. Please take that logical step forward.
Not lost yet. When somebody's lost, maybe try to get a friendship or maybe read a book because you feel alone. Maybe you feel lost, like feeling lost. But at the moment, I'm not feeling lost. So I'm very strong. In my mind, it's very strong. So I don't feel any parts of any situation at the moment.
What if?
Because I'm still evolving with my mind. Because I'm not child anymore.
What if?
So
What if we expire? I'm just using the language so that children don't.
Yeah.
What if we expire tomorrow, right? Then we would not have fulfilled our purpose because we haven't even found out, right? According to you, we would not have found out our purpose. That means we would have failed in the objective of our purpose. That means in the hereafter.
It's not a race. It's not a race.
It's not about race.
It's not a race to get older. It's the way how to live every single day.
But do you not consider it is wiser and more responsible to find out the true purpose?
More trouble you
no,
get
about
in
the
your
purpose.
life.
About
Sometimes
the purpose.
It's better be stupid and you have a normal life than ever be wise and thinking about lots of things in once.
Do you really feel that you want to gamble your life?
More people intelligent they are, more difficult they are to fall asleep. Can you believe? Because you got so many things coming in your brain and they can't even sleep. That's the scientist things they say. I'm not taking seriously that, but you know, some people they got difficulty. Some people they can sleep straight away. Like when you close the eyes, people they can switch it off. Just imagine when you know that you need to fly somewhere else, or you go a nice meeting or whatever, you got difficulties. You know, your brain is active, so you know that it's something that you want to do. But when your life is very meaningless, you don't even thinking about it. You're just falling down and sleep and everything like that, and you wake up and you do the same things over and over. But why are you disturbing him? If he's happy like that and he's not disturbing no one, and he's doing his life, that's it.
So
you
basically,
don't need to give him some extra, because
so
if you tell him that the burger is better than another place, I say no, maybe with that, no, but it's better, maybe even cheaper. Oh yeah, okay, I'll go it. So if he's happy with that, just leave him like that.
So if someone is happy
but
with their lives,
yes. If it's about health, if it's somebody smoking, let's say smoke is bad. Right. Now we know smoke is bad. Okay. So tell him, but don't say like.
I want to just explain to you one final concept: the concept of heaven and hell. Hellfire.
This is another story.
No. When you say story, the Creator who created us.
But
created us.
What does mean hell as well?
I'm explaining.
Is it ground floor?
I'm explaining.
Is it up? Is it
I'm explaining.
Planet? Is it Mars?
I'm explaining.
You don't want to be there.
No.
Now, the Creator.
Already going to PlayStation. Already going.
The Creator who created us created without free will, and inevitably, some people will not exercise their free will accordingly and appropriately. They will be arrogant. They will not fulfill their objective of their life. And because of the justice of our Creator, they will end up in this hellfire, which is eternal torment, punishment, and suffering. Now, no one should go there. No one would like to go there, and we don't want anyone to go there. We cannot gamble our life and take that risk of going to hellfire.
Cold place, is very scary.
Please.
Even cold is very scary.
Yes, I know. What I'm saying is, how can you feel happy?
Minus 50. I want to see how you
think about this. How can you feel happy knowing that you don't know when we're going to expire? That means we don't know whether fulfilling our purpose of our life is, and gambling and risking our life in the hereafter, that we might end up in this nasty place, the hellfire of torment and suffering. Do you really feel happy to make that gamble? If you have a chance to, look, in Islam, we don't gamble at all, full stop. There is no gambling, right?
So, but if you
wait, I want to make one example. We don't gamble, but I'm going to give you a scenario for gambling, right? Imagine in a gambling, the probability of you winning is 1 in a billion, trillion chance, right? You've got all of this chance of getting it, no win, loss. Only one chance to write. Mathematically, that's like almost impossible, right? And the game is this. Either, if you win, you have your children and your family, and if you lose, they will be all in the electric chair. You know what it means, right? Would you gamble? Would you be happy to gamble? Knowing that the probability of you winning is this. The risks are so great. I would never gamble like this, even though we don't gamble, but I'm saying conceptually, the risk is so high. I would be scared. I would not be happy. The hereafter, about the hellfire, that you will suffer and be burned eternally with no end, never to come out. Eternally, not 1 year. Not 1 million years, not 1 billion years, not 1 zillion years, not 1 trillion years, not 1 Googleplex years. How big is the number? It's for eternity with no end. That destination, imagine there, do we really want to gamble our life? I want to leave you with this thought. Think about it, my friend. If you think that is quite serious for you to reflect on it, then pick up a Quran and read it and see what it says about you. Shall we leave it to that?
Let's leave it like that.
All right. Thank you, my friend Marvis. Nice talking to you. Take care. Take care.